This meeting is being recorded.
Ooh, who's recording? Oh, whoa. What's up, fam? Welcome to Let Us Speak Truth. I'm your host, Nick. We got the panel on here. What's cracking, y'all?
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Hold on. I'm about to share it to Facebook too. Hold on, y'all. If I remember how. Anyway, y'all like the Super Bowl?
No.
Love it.
Kansas City came through.
I thought it was dope.
Kansas City did.
Kansas
No.
Did.
That
Got my
was an
Chiefs around.
awesome day.
Look, I'm doing one of Rose tonight. Chiefs.
Oh, that's the dope sweatshirt, Tom.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice sweatshirt. I will admit that, but I'm a Niner fan, so you feel me?
Y'all didn't want none of that. Y'all didn't want none of that. Y'all didn't want none of that.
You right, bro. We got beat.
Killed. Okay, y'all.
So
I'm setting up the Facebook Live, y'all. Hold on one second.
It says it's streaming live.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Today's topic, y'all. This is one of Travis's topics, but it's actually a dope ass topic. Not to say none of your topics are good, Trav. Not to say that because you picked up the topics. I don't mean to knock you like that, player. But this one, y'all, is tying your DNA to the wrong person. So, have y'all heard someone say, my child acts just like their father or mother and pisses them off because, of course, they aren't together anymore?
okay.
Yep.
And have
I've
y'all
heard that.
and for ones that have children on the podcast, have you ever felt that way toward your children?
I personally haven't.
I haven't.
I haven't
either. Trav?
Yes, and I have. And and the worst part is about that is because you are, whether y'all together or not, you're tied to that person in some form or fashion for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? Barring that something happens to one of your children, God forbid that. But y'all, it's a tough deal. You know what I mean? Because once you're tied to somebody, I don't give a shit what you do. You still you in some capacity you have to deal with that person. And people say, I don't deal with them. That's a lie. If you don't, then y'all ain't co-parenting.
Right.
I mean, especially, you know what I mean? What you gonna do when you have grandkids? You still gonna be tied to them motherfucker.
That part.
I think when I was growing up, we always heard the saying, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And when you hear your parents say that and your grandparents say that, they're usually referring to a child that's acting like their mother or their father, because that's what it is. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So they pick up characteristics from that a parent, one more than the other, rather if it's how they laugh, how they talk, or even how they look. Because some people's kids look just like their mom or just like their dad.
Yeah.
And every time they look at them, they be like, you look just like your daddy, or you look just like your mama.
Right.
And it's an everyday reminder. But I've never felt no type of way about it. Like,
so that brings me to the next point. So have y'all known somebody, or, well, the three of us with children have never felt the first one. So what about folks saying they hate their kids because they are part of the other person? I've known someone to be like,
yeah, I've known somebody to say that.
Yeah.
I've known quite a few people to say that.
Go ahead, Trav.
Then you know, for the people that are watching, you dusty ass parent, you need to send them with the other person and take them off child support and let them have that kid instead of worried about that. And if you feel like that, especially and you got a son, then he needs to be with his dad. Because I'm gonna say this, y'all, and I know Nick gonna jump on me when I say this. Those are really not men thoughts. Like, we don't think like that. We don't, y'all. Men don't think like that. We more so accept the fact that we had a baby with a dusty foot ass woman and we don't want to deal with her, but y'all will blame that motherfucker forever. Look at your daddy. You look like your daddy. You walk like your daddy. You're terrible. Look at you. You got slew foot like your daddy. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if you You know, if you feel like that, then get that kid away from you. You know what I'm saying? And let him go with somebody who cares.
Yeah, I don't think that's cool for the kid. I don't like. I
Yeah.
think that's shitty.
I agree with Trav on that.
Mhm.
That's not something that comes from a man. That's 9 times out of 10 that comes from a woman.
Yeah, I agree on that. I do.
I have known someone that literally had taken their child and threw that child against the wall, and that child had brain damage due to the fact
Ooh,
that the child looked like the dad, and her and the dad was no longer together.
See,
Wow.
that's
You
some
know
funky
what?
shit.
look at
That's
look at
messed up.
all the news, y'all. Look at all the news. The people that are killing their kids, drowning them, and killing them, and going crazy because they're for whatever reason, but they ain't with the mate. It ends up they're a single parent, and it majority of the time it's women.
Yeah.
I will say that, and it's crazy.
Yeah, because I get upset about that kind of stuff when it's like, I guess, like, prime example, the one y'all remember Susan Smith, the white lady
Down
who
by the
had
lake.
the 2 kids, and she drowned them in the car, and she said some black guy stole her car,
Yeah,
Right.
I do remember that.
all because she wanted this guy that she figured he wouldn't date her because she had kids, so she killed the kids so she could try to get rid of just to go to jail anyway.
You
Right.
talking about the down by the lake white woman, right?
Yeah, she drove the car off in the lake.
Yeah, I remember that.
That's some crazy. I just don't understand that mental. Go ahead, Trav.
So y'all, when it comes to things like this and reattaching it to what we're talking about, like attaching your DNA to the wrong person,
Mm-hmm.
like the nature, you know, and I know ladies were on the panel.
Mm-hmm.
The female nature is really interesting in things like this because usually you you all in relationships most times, but if you don't and he does that make you hate your kid? And then if you do and you're a
Ooh.
single mom, you like a guy to the point to where you don't want to have your children. So what did she think she was gonna do? She was gonna go on with her life and go be a girlfriend and her kids was just gonna be gone? Did she really think that shit was gonna work? That shit's amazing. The mindset is like,
Yeah, because it just
Right.
really makes you question, like, what the hell are you thinking? That, like, those are your options. Like, when my mom and my stepdad got together, my mom's thing was always, well, we're a package. I got 2 kids, blah, 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 blah. It was never negotiable. So when you have people who mistreat their children just to gain a mate, that's just like, what the hell were you thinking? Because if you do something to the kids, you're gonna get caught. You're
Mhm.
gonna go to jail unless you're Casey Anthony. But
Right.
outside of that, I'm saying.
Not all the time.
Jeez.
But it just amazes me that they don't. And the mentality behind it is you took a whole life for somebody that you might not be with for the past 2 months. Because I'm sure that if anybody who's logical, if they see that you're crazy enough to kill your kid to try to get with them, hell, they may be next. I wouldn't stay
but,
with you.
but
Right.
Tootie, let me say this. Let
Right.
me say this, Tootie. One thing that you're not taking into account, Tootie. Whoever this gentleman white boy was, he was fucking hell out that girl. That's why she got dizzy like that and done that dumb shit.
She was
You know, I mean,
digmatized. Is that what it was?
yeah,
She
no,
had
no,
got
not
hooked up with
digmatized.
stuff.
No, I'm gonna say it clearly so you get me. He was fucking hell out that girl.
Good.
He had a mule.
Huh?
He had a mule.
Boy, that girl, that
Trav said
girl,
he gave her the woo.
yeah, that girl, she didn't.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah, she was confused when she got up. You see how you scratching your Trudy, you see how you scratching your head like this, like you confused. That's
Look,
how much
y'all, like
She
for
was
real,
looking
like
over
the
Benedict side
action,
with a flashlight.
like for real, the actions of these parents that do shit like that instill in these children, which is why we have killers, sociopaths, kids that want to shoot up schools, too much time by themselves. I mean, that shit is crazy.
I
Yeah,
agree.
that's crazy.
It'd be the video games that be teaching these little fools how to shoot.
For real.
I can see that. Yep.
Yeah, but the thing about it is, I mean,
What do you do about
this
it?
well, here's the thing. Well, first and foremost, what we can do about it is stop buying these video games. Parents look at themselves and instead of always blaming stuff on the kids, look at yourself first because everything trickles down from the parent. And
Yeah.
this is what I advocate for us with the schools. You know, so our children are only mimicking what they're seeing, what's been seen and taught, and what they can actually get away with.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. Okay, I got not a personal question, but I got a question for the panel who has children. Do you badmouth your baby mama or baby daddy in front of your kids, or have you?
I have not, but my baby daddy has badmouthed me.
Okay.
I've tried not to. I have tried not to say things in front of my children. I don't make excuses, but I will have to say that I don't run a household where everything is shielded from the kids. If the kid's dad calls me and I'm on Bluetooth and he just starts yapping off at the mouth, going off, and I can't get to the Bluetooth to turn the Bluetooth off fast enough, they're exposed to certain things.
Right.
So it's not I'm not gonna say it's not foul. I don't have a foul-proof house. I don't have it happens.
Yeah.
And when it happens, I'm able to sit down and talk to the girls of why this transpired. And what I teach my kids is anytime that there's negativity that's spilled out about me, or if I've done it, I try to teach them how to take accountability for it. So therefore, if they do something, they can take accountability and responsibility for their actions because they see it from me. Whether they see it from the other side, they see it from me. They look, girls, I didn't mean to say this, that, and the other. This is what happened. And you know, but like I said, I'm not a perfect parent and by any means. And it has happened.
And Trav?
Let me tell y'all something.
Oh shit.
Oh hell.
Somebody's a
Here's
shit
the thing.
We go with this.
Somebody's a shit stain.
Lady killer, come on.
Here's the thing, y'all.
Go
If
ahead.
somebody is a shit stain in the drawers of life, and y'all are trying y'all best to cover up for them, don't do that shit. If you find out, look out, anybody listen to me. If you find out your ex-old lady is on OnlyFans, expose her ass to the kids. Don't try to hold that up. Don't try to make her. She ain't making no cookies and sugar and spice and everything nice. She turning her ass up to the camera. Don't try to make that sound better to make her feel good. No, tell on her ass because she tell on you. No, but seriously, bad mouthing them. Yeah, no, you try not to.
You childish. Travis, your ass childish.
He
This is
just
crazy.
went all the way left and then brought it all back.
But
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Exactly.
But
Here comes
but if you're in a situation with somebody and they making your life difficult, man, it's that fuse is short. It's hard not to say something. That fuse is short.
So you say tell them.
Key,
What up, Tony?
Hey, Tony.
Hey,
What's up,
Tom.
Tom?
What's going on with y'all? What's going on with y'all? What's the topic? What am I missing?
Ooh, fam. It's
Well, we talking about hoish mamas.
no,
Oh,
stop. We're talking about tying.
I'm gonna sign out.
Yeah, right. Tying-
baby's mamas.
no,
Baby's mamas.
I'm about to mute him. Tying your DNA to the wrong person. That's what we're talking about.
So basically having a child by the wrong person.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So my question right now on the panel was, do you badmouth your baby mama or baby daddy in front of your kids, or have you? And that's what we're going around the panel right now.
I mean, that's kind of like an easy one, you know, because if you have to be somebody that had a child at a young age, you know, things are gonna happen. You're gonna say some things, and you know, when you get older, with wisdom and knowledge, you're gonna make better decisions. But if you a 16-year-old mom or a 16-year-old dad, even a 20-something-year-old mom or 20-something-year-old dad, you probably gonna let your feelings and your emotions get to you. You might say something that you probably, you know, will look back on and say, damn, you know, what was I thinking? But at the end of the day, with age comes wisdom, hopefully.
Right.
So I could say, yeah, you know what I mean? When you're younger now, not everybody, I don't want to try to stereotype and make it sound like everybody had kids at a young age, because everybody didn't have kids at a young age. You know, some people had kids when they were older. So, but if you had them when you're young, you know, it's a good chance that you're going to say some things that a young person would say.
Let me tell y'all something. Personal experience. I do my best not to talk about my children's fathers because I have 3 of them. One rest in peace. I don't want my children to feel any kind of way or feel left out. Like if, let's say I was saying something about my daughter's father and then she feels some type of way, but I'm praising the other 2 fathers. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to bash my kids' fathers in front of any of my children because I have 3 different ones. I don't want any of my kids to feel some type of way about it. No, I don't think that's right at
But
all.
at the same time, how old are you now, Nicole?
How old am I?
Yeah.
50?
Are you not supposed to ask a woman's age? Let's just say
What?
this.
Oh,
If we say,
I'm proud of it. 51, baby, 51.
yeah, okay, so I always say this. This is the 51-year-old Nicole talking and not the 21-year-old Nicole talking.
Yeah, 21-year-old. But still, you know, I was 20 when I had my daughter, and I never badmouthed her dad in front of her. Well, let me take that back. Let me take that back. The only time that it happened, probably I would never directly speak to her like that, negative about him, but I could be on the phone talking to somebody and she could overhear it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That has happened. Go ahead, Trav.
So let me ask y'all a question. Is it wrong to talk to your children and you're emotional, but it's factual about the other parent? Or would you say if you're just speaking in emotional feelings? So if it's just feelings and you bad mouthing them, is one thing. I don't support that. But if you are the little boy in New York sitting on the brownstone waiting for your dad to come, and that motherfucker don't never come, you should tell him, hey man, that motherfucker ain't coming. Don't lie to him.
That's not bad mouth.
That's not
Well,
bad mouthing. That's just,
not coming.
those are
That's
facts.
telling the truth.
That's telling them
but
the truth.
also,
That's what I mean.
Yeah, that's not
but
bad.
also the kid is gonna have his own perspective on the dad or the mom. Eventually, in time, I mean, kids like that, they wish, they hope,
Yeah.
you know, that man, he just running late. And then if the mama come out and be like, no, he ain't, you know, nah.
You're gonna sit there for hours and hours and days and weeks and weeks. He's not coming. Get your little ass in the house. That's factual information. But if you say this mother ain't shit, this nigga ain't gonna do nothing for you. This, you know what I mean? You bad mouth them to him. But if you're telling factual information, like he's not showing up, but you got to say it in a way that they understand it.
Yeah, you got to say it in a comforting way. You really have to say it in a comforting way.
And that's the other thing that's difficult for me as a parent. This thing the way you have to pad what you say to your children. The world ain't gonna pad shit to them. Like that's a really hard thing. Because my dad, they ain't pad shit. They gave it to me no chaser, straight cone liquor pole to me raw. I don't know no other way. So
did your dad ever say your mom ain't shit? Or your mom?
No. My luckily they stayed together 100 years, and my mother's a Southern belle. If we were going to speak about that, I want to say that out loud. Hello, darling, if you're watching.
Hey, mom. Hey, Miss V.
Hey.
But my father was, on the other hand, he rocked and rolled. But that being said,
but did you ever hear your mom say anything negative about your dad?
She would never.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So you were not associated with it, which is a good thing. Even if they got divorced, they still never said nothing bad about each other.
I think.
Go ahead, Tony.
Go ahead, Tony.
Well, I was gonna say, I think that you know, when you're in a relationship and you're dealing with feelings and emotions, that's not something a child can really connect with or understand when you're speaking from a position of emotions and feelings. Because I know there's things that happened with my parents that when I was younger, I really didn't understand. But when I got older, I was like, I understand exactly what was going on. You see what I'm saying? With emotions, like kids don't deal with emotions. I had a situation one time with my child, and he was upset about his mom and her husband, you know, kind of separating. And he was really, really upset about it. They actually called me. So when I came and I spoke about it, I just said that adult conversations need to be happening among adults, and not the kids don't need to be privy to that conversation, because they don't understand it. Because even though as a man or a woman, you can be like, I'm not fucking with them no more. Excuse me, I'm not messing with them no more. I'm done. Your feelings can make you go back. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So in the child's mind, they just thinking it's over with because you're saying it's over with. But at the time you're mad, you're saying it's over with. You see that person again, you guys talking about it, you feel like you want to work it out. Now they're kind of wondering like, well, how did that happen? I thought the family was going to be over with. You know what I mean? So I think a kid can understand how emotions go for adults until they get to that age. Like when they get older, they see that. They understand how you can be into your emotions, your feelings, but a kid's not dealing with them type of emotions or feelings shutting on and shutting off.
Right. And here's my thing. Go ahead, Trav. Go ahead.
No, I guess like I'm torn with that. Cause like I the way things are now, I think you should get a kid up to speed as quick as possible. I don't think like the way it was before. That's just me.
Right.
And I don't mean like bombarding them with too many things, but I think like the key points, like if you gonna leave, if you're on your second marriage and y'all not gonna work out, and that person like sugarcoating it to them and saying that Leon is working on Alaskan pipeline and line, fuck all that. We ain't finna be together. Just tell them. I mean, and a lot of people feel like they wanna play that game with kids. I don't believe in that. I think that the world gonna give them a crash course, so I'd rather give them a crash course because I love them.
But you gotta treat them with their age mentality. So you can't tell your 18-year-old child things that you would tell your 7-year-old child.
So what's the difference between your 17 or 18-year-old if the parent dies? You think they ain't gonna be what? They can't be ready for that.
Now,
Well,
I agree with what you're saying. In my perspective, I just say make sure that whatever is done is actually done. Don't kind of prematurely speak on the situation. That's my perspective on
I feel
it.
I feel what you're saying. You're saying let it be the complete outcome.
Yes, let it be done, and then speak on it. But don't speak on it while you're going through those emotions and feelings and mad about situations. But
I can agree with that.
yeah,
I can agree with that. Nothing comes out of anger anyway. Nothing.
Yeah.
But it happens though. It come, emotions and anger. You say some things and you blurt out some things, and it is what it is. And then sometimes you can. I think we've all been in a situation where we were upset with the person, but we said, "Let me see what we can do about working it out." Especially if kids are involved, and it's a family dynamic. You say, you know what, I'm not going to just walk away and let this family be done. Let me see what I can do to try to make it work. I think we've all done that at least once. But you're doing it. It's the part of letting that be an adult conversation, and the kids not having to be, subjected to that.
Right. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also too, it's the lingo as well, and how we bring that information over to our kids, because we're not gonna use this. I'm not gonna talk to my 18-year-old daughter like I'm gonna talk to my 5-year-old daughter, and I don't have an 18-year-old daughter, but my 24-year-old daughter like my 15-year-old daughter who does not have autism. I'm not gonna talk to them in the same manner. And Trav, yeah, you're right. The world is willing to teach our kids, but here's the thing is about it. Our children are as strong as we teach them. So we don't have to, because the world's out there rough and tough. That doesn't mean that we have to teach them how to be that way and be negative. So again, it's all in how you expound and how you explain it to that child, and take that conversation over to that person.
And I quickly, I agree with what you're saying, Tanya, 100%. That's why in a home, that's why it's really good when you do have two parents, so you can do that thing to where you're not as rough as tough with them, and you can nurture them and you can tell them that. And me, on the other hand, if I'm in such a situation, I'm not going to be as nurturing. I'm going to be straight to the point, only because like when both sides of it, my mom's going to nurture me and my dad loves me. He's going to do whatever needs to be done. I got you. But the other side of it, like I said, and when it comes to those things, you have to be in a case where you can tell them what it is. So that sometimes parents can play off of each other. Hey, your dad's a little bit less sympathetic. He's more to the point, and you're in a situation where you can say, "Hey, don't do that," and you can be softer with them. You know what I mean? That's the tough part right there. Even with single parents, that's the tough part right there. Like what you're saying. So I get it. Yeah, I get it.
Right.
And then Yeah, that's oof. Yeah.
And what it
Me
okay.
myself, I'm gonna speak from personal experience. Well,
Mhm.
my mama was raw, like straight to the point. It wasn't no sugarcoating nothing. Like what gave me a perspective of my father without having that understanding about what was going on in their relationship, their personal shit that broke them up. Because my mom felt a certain way, and she still feels like this to this day. Like every once in a while, it'll get brought up. I'm like, this man
She
dead.
ain't let
Like,
wait a minute. She still ain't let up off of him
Nope.
to this day.
to
Nope.
this
Pissed her
day.
off.
How many years ago was this?
Man, my dad died in
100.
08.
Okay, let me
My,
stop.
Oh,
he
wow. Your
died.
dad died in 08.
How long they been apart?
I don't ever remember them being together.
Look, 40 years.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
She was
Look,
pissed off. She's
I
pissed
can,
off.
I can say
That's
that
an
because that's my
understatement.
cousin. I can say
Oh,
That's an understatement.
Let me ask you a question, y'all. Can y'all really be that mad with a motherfucker?
Hell
Yep.
yeah.
Done what they did, yes.
depends on what they did.
What sign is your mama?
She a Virgo.
But
Ooh.
here go the thing, ladies. You that mad at a man for getting a little pulse?
Travis, go somewhere with you and your
Oh my
mute.
God.
Oh,
I mean, are you
you
really,
make my
are you
old
really,
ass itch. I'm
I
so
hate
sick of
him.
are
you.
you really mad at that man for getting a little extra pulse? I mean, you know,
Okay, let me ask y'all this, tying the DNA. What do you think about men that have 6+ kids or women that have
Kevin.
6+ kids with different baby mamas?
well,
She's
if
a
you a man,
hoe and he's a homemaker.
well, no, well, you can't. No, we are homemakers, so you know, a man can't be a hoe, so that doesn't count.
That's what I say, homemaker.
Yeah.
Travis,
Okay, there you go.
put that shit in your
Um,
pocket. Ain't nobody
we
finna do
can't.
that.
We
I'm being
can't.
real.
Here's the
Continue.
thing.
I'm being real.
Finish your statement.
Get on.
Look at Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon has 12 kids.
Nick
Like,
Cannon, and that
Nick Cannon is
glorifies
in a
what I say.
cult.
This is what I said before. Female nature is really interesting. Why are you dealing with the man? You know what he's doing. That's on them women. That's not on
So the
him.
women,
No, the
I
women
believe
have-
in Nick Cannon's situation, the women are dealing with
it's the
him
women's choice.
based off of benefits. There's something
Right.
that he's offering these women
You
that
can't do
That
anything
wild
for
out
him.
money.
I think it's more than money, to be honest with you. And I don't think that you want to, okay, so my personal opinion on it is he could be having sex with all these different women, but I honestly believe that he did this on purpose. I think he sought out these different women. And I think that I don't know if they did IVF. I don't know if they did artificial insemination. I don't know what they did, but I do believe that some of them he probably was having sex with, but I don't think that he was getting it in like that, especially because he says that he's so sick all the time with whatever. I think he has
Lupus.
Lupus.
He's sick all the time. And so I think that, and he said in an interview some years and years and years back that he wanted to have a lot of kids and he wanted to basically just have a lot of kids and a bunch of other stuff. And I think that he's making that come true, whether he's having sex with all these women or not. But I don't think that I don't know. I could be wrong.
Trust and believe
Hold
the
on,
man is smashing them while
hold on, Jason. Hold on, Jason. Go ahead, Trav.
Jason, I didn't mean to cut you off, brother. But Neil, one thing, I've looked in this boy's eyes. This boy's a champion love maker. And he's doing this. This boy is doing this, and he's doing a good job at it. He ain't letting up. So, you know, y'all can say what y'all want. I mean, he's not there. He can't be nobody's daddy. How many got 10 kids?
12.
Well, yeah,
he has
and there's a difference
13.
between, so
if 12.
Yeah, it's 12 kids, but when we talk about tying our DNA with people, we have to understand too, there's a difference between being a dad and a father. There's a difference between being a mom and a mother. Yes. Which role are you playing? Because if that's another, like, I feel like if you are stepping into the role of being a dad, or if you're being dad, there's a difference between that role and title than it is when you're a father to somebody. You can father anybody, but playing that position and being dad is a totally different thing.
Right.
You got it backwards.
That boy has money, so he's not really
Trav,
He gonna throw money at whatever problem.
Trav, let me speak this to you.
Yes, sir.
Your mom and dad were together for the whole time, right?
They're still together.
Man,
Still together, right? So
16 and 8 from 16 to 18. From
so you was
16
able
and 18.
to experience the dynamic of having your father and your mother there in the household every day.
Every day.
That benefited you in some type of way, right?
Right.
Man,
For
is
sure.
Absolutely.
So when we talk about Nick, don't get me wrong, love Nick, you know, from my hometown, Libra.
yeah, I'm where I am.
But when you don't, when you're not able to give that be that presence in the household as a man and as a father, they're not going to get the same dynamic that somebody like a Travis would get.
Right.
You're
Right,
right.
but there's a
gotta-
difference between making babies.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I'm sorry. No, go ahead.
Hey, I think I pissed my
There's a
mama off
difference
because she
between-
calling me.
making babies and raising kids into people forget the part. Making the baby and having the baby is the fun part. Making the baby, going in labor and delivery and delivering the baby, that's the anticipation. That's the fun part. But once you bring that baby home and that baby goes from one day to 10 years old, and now you're dealing with adolescence, resilience, and everything else that child is coming up with, it's a different ball game.
Yeah.
People forget that part.
Yeah.
It's not about just having the baby. It's about raising kids. And I think people forget about that part. It's all fun and games until some real shit go down. And then now you got to figure out why this kid ain't going to this school. Now this kid needs braces. This other kid needs surgery. This kid can't do this. Like that's a totally different ball game.
Okay.
And it's crazy when it's almost like,
Hold on, Trav.
and I can't speak for everybody, but for myself, when I hear somebody like Travis talk about his family dynamic, I'm in awe of it. I'm envious of it. Like, wow.
I'll be
your
jealous as hell when I hear this man talk about
most people I know,
his upbringing.
mom and dad, weren't together. So it's like, being able to come from that dynamic is a blessing. You know what I mean? And like a whole lot of people would wish they can have that. And then a person would be in that situation to be able to be in the family, like, with Nick and Mariah, but then he does what he does, boom, 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 boom. Now, a lot of people like us, we can relate more to that than what you're talking about. You see what I'm saying?
Because that's the
I had a friend of mine that told me she didn't want to be my friend anymore because my family was, because my parents were still together. We were in junior high and high school. And I was like, what do you mean? She was like, well, every time I go over to your houses, I see your mom and your dad, and you guys are just so happy. It's like the whole Black Brady Bunch. And I couldn't believe, like at the time, I didn't understand. I'm like, what? Like, I mean, her mom and her dad weren't together anymore. And I used to go to her house and it would just be her and her mom. But she literally said that my parents are still together to this day. But that was the first time that I heard that somebody didn't want to be my friend because she really couldn't relate to the lifestyle of me coming home to my mom every day, or my dad working and my mom, my dad being able to pick me up and drop me off. That's real.
Wow.
Go ahead, Trav.
Let me say something.
To piggyback off what y'all was saying, like for real, you can, if my people was on tonight, and I guess that's why so many children and so many people in my family. Like I said, my mother's the oldest of 16, and I think my father's like the middle child of 8. So like up until probably within the last 20 years, divorce was not even part of our family. We didn't, nobody got a divorce. Like that never happened up until like the last 20 years. And those were like cousins and it wasn't, but my aunts and stuff, either they didn't marry or they didn't get like, just getting divorced, like that was like unheard of. Like we've had people that separated for years and then worked their way back together. Those things happen, but divorce. So when I hear like disliking a parent or whatever, like I asked my mom one time, like, and this will let you know about my mindset when it comes to kids and whatever. I asked my mom, I said, like, you and dad has problems. Yeah, we had our problems. She said, but I was supposed to be here. I had a job to do. And that for me is just like, I said, so divorce was never, she said, that was never an option. We never talked about that ever. And a lot of women say today, well, I want to be happy and all that. And I go back to the kids, what we started with. Like, how does that work? You know what I'm saying? If you're going to turn around.
Let me ask you a question, Trav, and you don't have to say, but are you?
No, you ain't got, I got thick skin. Come on.
How young are your parents?
My father is 81 and my mom's 79.
My point exactly. So when you got that generation, a lot of people stay together at that time, good, bad, ugly. We got another topic to go on. Tootie brought this topic up to me, but we'll do that on Sunday.
Sunday.
Remember that tradition. Remember that.
Let me say this.
One last thing, and I'll be quiet. With that being said, so for me and men in my family, for a woman to divorce us is it's like an ego bruise. Like for us, because you know what I'm saying? Like, forget all the other stuff come involved. For me to go through a divorce was more of an ego bruise because I'm like, wait a minute, we don't do this. What you doing? But I had to realize that other people were raised different. And the way I look at it, it doesn't work that way with everybody. Cause like, you know, it's like, hey, well, you know, it didn't work out. I'm gonna go on my way. But like in my family, like, what you doing? Where you going? Like my brothers got divorced. My mom, I promise you, I hope she'll get mad at me saying this. My brother got a divorce, and I ain't never seen nobody cry like that. My mom cried like somebody had died.
Wow.
And you know what that's
Like,
you know what that speaks to? That speaks to when you meet somebody and you're getting to know them. You know, sometimes you want to get to know, like, how were they raised as far as their parenting skills? What was their family dynamic? I never asked nobody about that. Like, you know, like I said, this is a 52-year-old Tony talking about stuff like that. At 21, I ain't never came up as a question. Like, you know, were your mom and dad still together? And, you know, were you raised in a dynamic where you believe, you know, corporal punishment was the right type of discipline? And, you know, yes or no, you know, we don't ask that type of stuff. So when it does get to that point, you just kind of realize how different you really are. You have this thing in common, but you have this thing that's not in common.
Right.
I agree with you 100%, Tony.
Right.
And I think a lot of times when we tie our DNAs with people, it's usually because we look at the possibility and the potential in that person and not seeing what this person has really showed themselves to be. And just like you said, Tony, what happens is we don't look at where this person was raised or how this person was raised or where this person comes from. We're looking at all the good, like, oh, okay, but we have to realize that the bad and the ugly shape this person too. So if this person came from a family and their mom has been divorced 3 and 4 times, divorce is in the back of this person's head. Even though you may not have ever discussed it, that divorce is in the back of that person's head from the jump. Even the other person may not, but that person. So we have to look at those things before we really start having kids. And this is me talking with experience, because before I used to look right past stuff like, oh, he's cool with his mom. He got a good relationship with his mom. That doesn't matter. How was his mom raised? How many times has his mom been married? How many kids does she have and how many baby daddies does she have? Those things matter. It's just not that individual, it's the environment that the other person was brought up in.
Right.
And with that,
Hold on. Go ahead, Tony.
with that being said, it would be in our best interest for us to try to instill certain things like that into our kids, because I know me growing up, I never had an example of how to go about a relationship or what you should do in relationships or even to start a relationship. But if we can talk to our kids and say, you know, when you meet somebody and you get ready to start dating them, these are some of the things you might want to try to find out about them, get to learn about them. Because there's no book on that. There's no book on relationships. There's no books on how to go about doing it. But now that we have gained this wisdom that we gained, we can try to instill this into our kids, even our grandkids, even to our nieces and nephews, even to young Black men and women that might talk to us and they might just be looking for advice to say, okay, you know, need to look like somebody that, you know, has some life experience, you know, Tootie, same way, Tiny, you know, Trav, Jason. People will look up to you to a certain extent, but that's the things that we have to plant. We can plant them seeds and just give that a little bit of advice, and hopefully they'll take it and they'll go somewhere with it. So we don't have these same things coming again.
Agreed. Go ahead, Trav.
You know, it's so many things, man, when y'all start talking, just come up. And I remember I was dealing with this chick one time, and she was from California. I'll never forget this. And she said, you know, I don't really know how to be in a relationship. That was the first time I ever heard that. And I'm like, well, why you say that? She was like, because my mom was a prostitute. And I was like, wow. Like, cause you hear that, but you don't, And I was like, well, what? Tell me something you can remember. And she was like, I remember one time I was about 7, and a dude was having sex with my mom from the side, and I was in front of her in the bed. Now, what the hell? How do you recover mentally from something like that? You 7. She remembered this shit. You know what I'm saying? So, like Nita
It's
just
fucked
said,
up that certain shit will stick with a kid like that too,
yeah.
man. Like
So,
forever.
like Nita said, no matter what, that you can't, as a man, and you dating her, if you married a woman like that, you can't do nothing to fix that. You can never do anything to fix that. You can't help her. You can be
Mm-mm.
good to her. You can love her. You can buy houses, cars, but she has had something happen that you had nothing to do with you. You can't fix that shit.
It's a lot of drugs involved with shit like that too.
Oh, she was
You
fucked up
wouldn't have,
too.
And to see another thing is too, like
Yeah.
we look at behaviors and we be like, oh, because a lot of times women, I'm gonna say women, we look past certain behaviors as, oh, that's just a one-off. He's just having a bad day. No.
y'all put
That's
up with a
showing
lot of shit.
that person is showing who he is on a good day too, whether it's good or bad. Like we can't just look past different behaviors because that whatever that behavior is, and you have a baby with that person, that all of that stuff is attached, all of it. Like,
And
Right.
this goes back to like women trying to change who that person is, who that man is. If you got an abusive dude and he put his hands on females, guess what? You just about to be his punching bag until you have enough, until leave him alone kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sorry, y'all.
people get like not upset with me, but people be like, oh, you ask a lot of questions. Why you ask so many questions? Because my questions matter, right?
do.
My questions matter. So if me and you are getting to know each other and I'm asking you all kind of questions, and I'll be like, well, why did your past relationship fail? Because I need to know what I'm dealing with, right? I gotta know what I'm dealing with. So
Nita,
you
Nita,
40
not to
years
cut you
old.
off. So for right now, me and you on a date. Ask me some questions.
Role play.
I don't know what to ask you.
All right, let's
Okay,
get it.
Okay, so why are you and your wife no longer together? Or why are you in your last relationship? Why did that not work out for you?
She couldn't handle me. She needed some help in the bedroom.
So wait a minute. So you mean to tell me that you guys went y'all separate ways because
Over sex.
because you was dicking her down and she couldn't handle it?
No, she needed some help. They put turbos on race cars, Nita, so I got her some help. What do you mean? Answer me. One more question. One more question.
You
one
see
more
how my finger
I'm
just
not
blew
playing
up
with
because I
you.
already knew where he's going.
Why you always
that-
lying?
Thank you.
Shit.
Him, that mule, and that damn construction.
Hold
hat.
on. Let me ask this to Trav. Are you against the zip, bringing that to the bedroom?
I'm not a fan of it. I'm not gonna lie.
Why?
Oh,
Because
because
Travis
Dick.
feel like that's cheating on him.
Well-
he want to be the only penis that you see.
I don't really. I don't
the
even want
only
you to get.
real one. I understand.
I don't
that,
even
but
really want you to get a pap
like-
smear. Let me take care of that for you.
Hold on.
Oh,
You
Hello.
so childish.
Hold on.
Hey,
Well,
this
Jason
brother
Smith-
is Mr. Macho.
It's just
I
crazy.
am. I can't lie. I can't lie. I can't
Who
lie.
said I don't want you to get a pap smear?
I'll take care of that for you. Duty. I'll take care of that for
You
you.
said, did you see the bird I've sent your way?
And this what you're gonna do afterwards, huh?
okay, listen, y'all. We're getting off topic. We're not talking about no fucking sex, dick sucking, pussy eating, none of
Oh
that.
no.
We're talking about DNA tying, okay?
Correct.
So, have y'all known someone to favor a child more than the other because of the anger they have with the other parent?
Yes,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
yes, yes.
Absolutely. I've seen with my own eyes people that post pictures of only a certain amount of kids and not the other kid. Like wait a minute. Like you help raise this child and now all of a sudden you don't want nothing to do with this child.
Mm.
So
I
if
think
one of the
that I've
kids'
seen
fathers is
it.
a better guy, so what if
Huh?
one of the kids' fathers is a better guy? So you would post the better guy's kid?
No, these are
If
your,
he, if,
No, these are your own
these are
children.
your own children. So this is a mother or a father who has multiple children by different daddies or mamas, but they're your children. You would post more of one than the other?
Which kids look best?
Oh shit.
go
I'm
somewhere
so
and fall
sick
off
with
the turn
you.
of truck.
Like,
I can't stand Travis.
This is the Z generation. Travis part of the Z generation. Z gen. Is that
No,
what
I'm from the 40s. I'm from the 40s. I'm from the South, and I'm from 1940. So
Tony,
get them good looking kids
And
out
he a
here.
white man named
No,
August.
So you
hold on.
gonna put the ugly baby in the back?
Tony,
If you're a good athlete, he can come to the front.
y'all shut the fuck up. I'm being serious. Y'all are killing me with that shit. You part of the Z generation right now. We talking real spit about our kids today.
So Future and Russell Wilson.
That's a
That's
bad
what we talking about.
situation. That's a
Okay.
bad situation.
Okay.
That
That's a
man,
bad situation.
man, that's his baby, but Russell is the daddy. Future got
That's
all the children in the world.
No, Nick Cannon does, but Future's
No, Future got that man beat. He about like 20-something deep.
no. He
no, I
ain't.
thought he had 10.
Google it. He's under Nick Cannon. But it's just a fact,
Okay, Google,
like
how many children does Future have?
they still like Sierra, she will post all her children, all
Right.
her kids evenly, even though little Future is not Russell's. But she
Well,
still all
that's
of
the
them.
kind of man that he is.
But
Though.
Russell is posting with Lil Future. Like he like this my son. Fuck this rapper. I'm gonna show you how to be an athlete.
Which is the most ridiculous thing ever. But I
But
get
my
it.
point is he's a bonus dad, and he took on that responsibility to he doesn't treat them no different.
he doesn't.
That's my point. He don't treat
In
them
the public eye.
And y'all think that's a good thing.
It absolutely is a good thing.
absolutely.
Why
For
would you
who?
make
It's
a
in the
difference?
public
Why is
eye.
it
We
okay to
don't know
make a
what
difference
goes on
between
behind
children,
people's
Travis?
door.
I'm not saying make a difference between children. I'm saying, God forbid, if something was happening to that little boy, Russell, I'll ask Russell to leave the room, and he'll get bone marrow from his dad.
That's not true.
Why? Oh
He's-
God, y'all stop
No,
playing.
listen,
It ain't his dad.
he's married to the mother, right? He's married to the mother, so they will
That's his
ask.
biological father. That's his biological
But
father.
they will
Yeah,
still
the biological
ask
father
them.
gonna come into the room,
Hold
but they're
on.
not
Your
gonna
that's
tell.
his
They're not gonna
biological
tell him to
father.
leave.
That's his biological father.
I'm muting Trav and Jason for a hot second. The
Um,
point is she don't treat them no different. The point is he is stepdaddy or bonus dad, whatever, or just second dad, whatever you want to call him, and he can still test for the bone marrow. Stop looking at some basketball and pay attention. Just because, okay, Travis has 3 girls by 1 woman. Okay. Lanita has, can I say all this, y'all? I'm sorry. I like put your shit on blast. Can I say this?
You know, already said
I'm
it.
I'm more.
Trav.
I'm
Go
more
ahead.
than.
Go ahead. You can.
Yeah, Trav don't care if I tell his business as far as that. He's got 3 kids by 1 baby mama. Lanita, you got 3 children by 2 baby daddies. Tanya got 2 daughters by 1 dude. I got 3 kids by 3 baby daddies. Tony, what's your, I don't,
I'm 3 for 3.
So you and me relate on this.
Yeah.
I will never, ever treat any of my kids any different, ever.
100%.
Now, can I say something?
Sure.
So it's funny because I was going back to everything we've been talking about right now, right? And a lot of things we normalize, and we normalize it because it's just our everyday life, and this is what we're used to, this is what we've seen. And sometimes it could be good, sometimes it could be bad, what we normalize as people. You see what I'm saying? And when you look at that, like I don't want to get too far off the subject, but it was something about somebody asked me about the situation with the police officers in Memphis and all that, and how shocking that was to some people. And it wasn't shocking to me because I had seen that before, not from a police officer, just in a situation where I've seen somebody getting beat down like that before, and they were just almost lifeless, and didn't nobody do nothing. And after I'd seen it a few times, that was normal. So when you see certain things that become normal, and I'll bring it back to the subject we're talking about right now, For me, my mom and dad were divorced before I was even 2 years old, before I have any recollection, right? So my stepdad brought me up, right? So in my mind, what was normal to me, even if this is not your blood, this is not your DNA, you still treat this like your child anyway. But that's what would be normal, considered normal to me, because that's what I've seen growing up. You see what I'm saying? So
Right.
you have different parts of what you know in life and how you've grown up to be normal, whether it be good or bad. That's just what it is. This is what we normalize as people.
Yeah.
I got a
That's
question.
true.
I got a question for the fellas.
Okay.
What would y'all do if a little dude just call you up out of nowhere and be like, I think you my dad? And then you look at him and it's like, damn, this little nigga look just like me.
Mhm.
Come to find out he ain't yours. How was y'all
You want
take
my answer? You want my answer?
Yeah.
Go back to your rightful owner.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus.
Now, see, Trev, this is what me and you always had a difference in, right? You just got to understand that not every man is a stand-up man like yourself, as far as you being there and taking care of your kids. So we do have children that out there that don't have that mom figure or that father figure in their lives, and for them to find another person they can look at as a father figure or a mother figure, there's nothing wrong with that in my perspective.
And I respect what you're saying, Tony, but I guess my thing is this. I'm so in depth with my kids, my 3 girls.
Mhm.
Like I know that my girls may be a hindrance in future relationships or just in a relationship with a woman with me, just because I'm so into what they're doing. Now that's that thing. My question is to the fellas is, and I guess the women say that, they say it's such a great thing what Russell Wilson is doing. Okay, cool. If that's what y'all, that's the road you're gonna take.
Mhm.
Tell me what is the benefit to Russell in taking care of that little boy?
He's with his mama. What the fuck you mean? What's the benefit?
Right.
Okay, I'm sensitive about that for this reason.
You
My
said
parents
this
split up when
question
I
was
was
for the
Hold
young.
fellas?
on. Hold on.
I've
Let
had my
Titty
stepdad
talk.
since I was 9 years old. No, we are not his biological children, but he became a part of our family. No, he has no biological children, but he stayed with my mama. He loved us. He raised us. I don't understand what you mean, what the benefit is. You get to be a part of a fucking family.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this one more. I'm gonna ask this one quickly thing. What
You just asked us right
quickly,
now.
Because I got
quickly
That
one
was
more.
a fella question, right?
Hold on.
No, but I'm glad she said it. I'm gonna say that again. Take and me and Tootie cool as a fans, but I'm gonna say this in the nicest way possible. Fuck your feelings. I'm gonna ask you what is the benefit.
Ask Shaquille O'Neal that.
You know what? This is the thing. When you're,
Thank you.
if you're in,
Hold on, Lenita.
go
The
ahead.
benefit was him being there and raising a man, and a man that respected him and called him his father, even though it wasn't biologically his. So it's not like it's always going to be a non-beneficial, beneficial thing for somebody to step up and be a man and be a woman. You know what I mean? I just look at that as something as being respectful. When you can be a mother or a father to a child that's not biologically yours, I salute you in my mind. I don't look at you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Because everybody
It's-
needs somebody. And even if you don't want to do it,
listen.
don't. But damn.
Listen, what I'm saying is, look, I'm by my heart, I'm a humanitarian and I love people. I swear to God, I do. I love people. Being a stepfather is a shit job. Being a step parent is a shit job. I don't care how people want to say it and make it fun. You wouldn't know those children. You wouldn't know those children if it wasn't for that person.
Indeed. But
So
sometimes
how can you say that's an advantage?
Your stepchild, them loving you is not a good thing. Them looking up to you as a father is not. Them wanting to call you dad. Would you allow a child that didn't have a father figure to call you dad?
I'm
Yes.
big on respect. I don't really need love like that, so I'm a little bit different.
Okay, I got a question.
Child look up to you as a father figure, because I already know how Travis is. Travis is the type of dude you're gonna talk to a young black man. You're gonna give him advice
All day. All day.
So how can you do that and expect them not to look up to you in a certain type of way?
No. Let's say I'm with a lady.
Trav take the uncle.
Hold on. Let me chime in. Trav, let's say, okay, you have 3 daughters right now, right?
Right.
You meet a woman, you have another child, okay? That other child is not, no, let me take that back. You meet a woman, she has a child who is a son. You
Right.
guys get married.
Right.
That child is 8 years old.
Okay.
You guys get married. Now that child is 21 and in college, and he is super dope in football or basketball. He's going to be somebody, right?
Right.
You were guiding him in his sports, athletics, because you were a football player.
Right.
He was chiming to you. He was grasping with you. Like, he loved that. As time goes by, now he's 25, 26. He makes the NFL. He becomes an NFL player.
And the real daddy come in.
What is the benefit of you being that person to guide him?
Thank you.
Okay. Again, y'all, I'm a humanitarian. I love people. So I'm not humanly able to be nasty or mean to a child. That's why I would have to be very, very choice about getting in a situation like that, because I'm gonna take on the responsibility. But I'm saying, in my right mind, right here sitting, it's hard for me to take time away from my own personal kids and put in another man's kids.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
I get that, because you're used to your parents are together still. You
Yeah.
have one baby mama. You're used to that traditional life. And in today's world, it's not like that, unfortunately. I hate to say
I
it.
would say in the West Coast world,
No,
it ain't like that. Over there where Trav from, it's probably still like that.
the fuck it is. The South, no, it's not
Nah, it ain't like it used to be. Like
like that all
you gotta understand. You gotta understand the hookup culture, and we just gonna kick it in. Like you know, down here I see people doing stuff that I just kind of think is like the benefits of marriage are so far vast and better than not being married. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I mean, if you're gonna
So
be with somebody, you have
everybody
to
just
be,
quick to hook up and go
yeah,
raw, have a baby,
yeah.
and let another person raise their kid. Is me myself, man. If I got some kids out there, I'm not about to be okay with letting another person raise my daughter,
You have no
son.
choice if you don't know. If you don't know,
No. I'm saying if I knew it,
why wouldn't you?
why wouldn't I? Because I'm
Why
gonna be a
would you?
part of my
I
child's
missed it.
life.
I
Okay,
missed it. What did you say?
let me ask you this. Okay, so Jason said he wouldn't be okay with another man raising his child. Okay,
No,
so
sir.
no, okay, so
Mm.
I'm sorry.
listen. You and that woman are no longer together.
That's fine.
That woman remarries.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
He's going to be a part of your child's life.
He shouldn't
Yes,
be.
indeed. He's gonna be a part, but raising and being a part is two different things.
Bullshit.
Well, I
No, it
mean,
ain't.
come on, you got to think about it. If
Think about
they're
it.
living together
Right.
and they're eating together, they're going on vacations together, this man is raising this child. Like, he ain't about to be like sit in the corner and wait for your dad to come every 2 weeks
See, I'm
or
a
every
little
once a week or
different.
wait for you to get home from after school. He's getting him up. He's going to be getting him ready for school. He's going to be feeding them. He's going to be taking them to and from. That's a part of raising.
You can't
But
hold on.
you can't get around that.
I'm gonna feed off that. You can't run to the house every morning and feed your child breakfast when you're
Okay, I got something for that.
hold on, y'all. Let Tony talk because he raised his hand first. Go ahead.
Real quick, I just want to ask everybody on here a question. I want to ask everybody, does everybody on here know somebody personally that they know that has never met their mother or their father before in their entire life?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have not.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got Jason, we got Trav, Tanya, yourself.
Yes.
That's three.
Yeah.
You mean you saying somebody who's never met their
Mother or
a
father.
parent?
You
Their
know,
father
Do you
or
know
mother.
somebody that don't know their mama or daddy?
And never
Yeah.
met them before. So you don't know nobody like that.
No, I don't.
For real?
Do you know anybody?
Where y'all grow up at?
I do. I know somebody that both of their parents died in a car crash when they were like months
Ooh,
old.
that's terrible.
Oh man.
So I do know somebody like that.
That's a little bit different. That's a little bit different because they're not here anymore. I'm talking about just never met them because they didn't decide to come around. So there's seven
Okay.
of us. There's 7 of us on here right now, and out of the 7, what, 4 of us know of people that have never met their father or their mother before in their entire life.
Mm.
I
Yep.
just say this, that it's unfortunately normal to a certain extent for a person not to have that parent be around, don't want to be around, don't have nothing to do with them, and having that child out there having be a fatherless or a motherless child.
Mm.
Unfortunately, it's just a fact of the society we live in right now. And if you just happen to fall into that position where you can be that person, it is what it is. That's my point. I get everything else about, like Jason, when he said he couldn't live with that. Hats off to you. That means you're a responsible man. That you said, I'm not going to let nobody else raise my child. That's being
Yeah.
a responsible man.
But being responsible is, how are you going to make that relationship work if it didn't work?
How's we gonna make
What you
one
mean?
So basically, like I'm talking about Jason and Trav, like if you guys had children and you guys were no longer with the baby mama, how the hell can you?
Does it work with the kid?
No, how do you feel like that other person can't help raise your child? That other man. Go ahead, Trav. Hold on, Jason. Go ahead.
Okay, so Jason, let me say this, man, and I'm glad that so I can break this down. Two things about this. The reason that, like me and Jason said, and a lot of people don't want to believe this, an involved father, the way I am, actually is a thorn to another relationship that a woman, that my ex would get into, because I'm so vigilant. I'm there. I'm at
Exactly.
chorus. I'm at chorus. I'm at soccer practice. I'm at I'm I'm at dance practice. I'm there. I'm gonna show up on Saturday. I'm gonna buy a car. So they're gonna be so confused, not because I'm doing this on purpose, because I'm trying to stay vigilant in my child's life.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna pay you your child support, so we ain't gotta worry about that.
Right.
My biggest
I'm at
thing is
breakfast.
I'm a hindrance. Now let me go through us. You guys say, well, how can you stop that? you got two sons, right?
Who?
Nick,
I
you.
got 2 sons and 1 daughter.
Okay. Would you be okay with some guy that you didn't know raising your grandson that your son had? Would that be okay?
Say that one more time.
Would you be okay with some man that you don't know that's around your grandson raising him?
I would know him because that's how I
No,
raise.
no, no,
That's how I
no,
raise
no.
kids. I
Your
would.
son, your son and the lady separate. She go marry another guy, and your grandson is around this new dude.
I'm always gonna be cool with her because I'm always gonna have a relationship with my grandchild.
In theory, you'll be cool with her.
I'm always going to be cool with her because she has my grandchild.
When that boy start wrapping his ding-a-ling around her head, she's not gonna fuck with you. How you gonna handle that?
No, that's
not
I
true.
don't think that's true, because a lot of women, we feed off of respect. We feed off of respect. So
Ooh,
if Nick is
that's a whole
grandma,
nother topic.
if Nick is grandma and she's respecting the baby mom, I don't like using that term, but if she's respecting her
The
son's
mother of
his kids, there's always going to be that rapport. There's always going to be that respect, that common courtesy between them. She is not going to.
I don't get involved.
Yeah, she's not going to be able to get involved to be like, okay, I'm taking sides.
I will.
Have y'all met these new
Hold on.
millennials?
I was just finna say them young girls so stupid. They ain't gonna
These
even
little
they ain't even
motherfuckers,
gonna
man.
talk to you no more.
Ooh.
And that's okay because
Well, I mean, go ahead. Sorry.
I can't control what I raise my kids to be smart. My kids are going to choose wisely. I will say this. My son is 24 years old. My son has had women, but will never bring a woman home to me. And I asked him why. He said, until they're worthy and I'm serious, I'm not going to bring them to meet you. And
I used to have that
Jason.
same.
Hold on, Jason. I respect that about him. You know what I mean? Now, let's say fast forward, he meets a woman, he falls in love, they get gutter, they have a child. my son does something stupid or she does something stupid and they break up, and now we got a child that's out just with the mom, but she is with somebody else and she's ratchet. I know how to fight.
Wait a minute.
I know how to fight. You ain't gonna
Wait a
keep
minute.
you ain't gonna keep my grandbaby away from me. That's all I'm gonna say.
But
So
some people,
anybody
some
that
people,
wants to mess with my kids, I'm gonna be in them kids' lives if y'all have kids with them, because I fight.
and some people are so quick to throw the relationship away that they'll throw the kids away with the relationship.
Exactly.
Exactly. And
Oh, what is that?
What is that?
Let me ask y'all one question that I saw.
Go ahead, Trey.
And the guy said something that a lot of people didn't like, because I read a lot of the reviews. He said, if a woman makes it too hard for you to be a parent to your child, he said, fuck that woman and fuck that child. How do y'all feel about that?
It's
the
hurtful.
kids don't have nothing to do with it. The kids don't have
No,
nothing
no,
to
no,
do.
no, 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 no. Listen to what I just said. You're talking about the child. He wants to be a part of the child's life.
I'm gonna answer that.
You're dragging him back and forth to court. You won't let him see you. Visitation and child support are not connected. He's got to do these things no matter what. Whatever goes on, he's there. He's at the gas station. He's waiting. We ain't coming today. She don't want to see you. What happens when he just turns and say, hey, man, fuck that, I'm out?
I want to know who asked that question.
It's hurtful. It's hurtful. But I relate to that in a man's world. Because I've known 3 people in my life from back in the day, and it was not my friends, it was friends of friends that I've known, and they made it so difficult to where the dude just like shut it completely down. Like, I don't want shit to do with her. I don't want shit to do with the kids. It's wrong because the kids are innocent.
Kids don't deserve it.
I don't give a shit if you are that mad with the mom or the dad. Never look at your kids in that sense. But what I'm saying, I get what you're saying on the flip side. I could be the devil's advocate on that. Shut down, let them figure it out. Because at some point when they get older, they're gonna need him or her.
But y'all, generally, men don't behave this way. And I know you're saying like and I do my 80-20 rule. 80 out of 100 men do not behave. They're not gonna say you can't go but your mom. That guy is saying, I'm paying child support. I want to be here. And she says, we're not going today. Because you're done with him. You've cut that out of your life. So at what point in time, how long does he chase that without saying, you know what the hell with all that?
I think the right answer for that,
I'm taking the court.
Hold on, Jason.
everybody is different in what they can fight through. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like an individual thing. Like, you have people that go out there and they try to get a job and they can't get a job. You know what I mean? Why can't they get a job? You have people that are put in adverse living conditions. You know what I mean? Okay, I got to get out the ghetto. My parents came out there, but some people are able to go to school and get a master's degree, get a doctorate, and do all that and go into the military. And some people go to jail. So everybody is different on how their willpower is to be able to overcome trials and tribulations. Everybody's just different. And that's just the same situation right there. That's a trial, that's a tribulation. Some people be like, I don't give a damn what she say. I'm going to fight to see mine. And some people are like, I just can't do it.
Right. Go ahead,
You know?
Jason. I agree, Tony. Go
I
ahead.
would say this. Let that person deal, like, let the kid find his own perspective on that parent. Like,
Right.
if they don't want to be a part of their life, well, it'll show. It'll show in the long run.
Right.
And when it shows, that kid will probably end up being stronger, but he'll despise that parent like a motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
as soon as he has the opportunity to say something to that parent, oh, trust and believe, he or she will.
And
Like, and I'm speaking from personal experience. Like, I told my dad straight up, you can get these hands, bro, right now. Say some more slick shit. Cause he wasn't there. You
Right.
know, like it was, I got raised by the community, the men that were there. And it wasn't like they was fucking with my mom or whatever. No, these was just people
Homie.
that I looked at as like big brothers, you know, that I grew up around. And
Mm.
so my neighborhood taught me how to be a man. My best friend's father taught me how to be a man. You know what I mean? And that's why I look at, you know, when you say that, oh, they're gonna be out the life altogether, or they just walk away and say, fuck it, you're making it too hard. No such thing.
I think you're looking at it from a perspective. I'm not saying just. I'm talking about you fighting, you scratching, you going to court. Every time you go to court, you paying a lawyer. The court ain't giving you no justice. It doesn't matter what you do. If you go and get in an argument with her, she files a TPO. You file a TPO in Georgia, guess what happens? They can keep you
Yeah.
away from the kid for a year. They can make it
Ooh.
so difficult. And that supersedes your visitation rights
Yeah.
because you can't be around them. The game, they can play the game to where they'll have you so spent around.
Right.
And I don't mean like give up because you're giving up. I mean, you saying, man, I've exhausted it. And your kids are with another man, like you said. And he getting your kid and taking them to soccer practice and all that. Man, that's tough, man. To the point to
That's
where
real. That's rough. Well,
Yeah,
that's
it's
rough.
tough, but some people don't. I'm telling you, when the relationship is over, some people walk away from everything that has to do with it. Especially if it's easier, the other person has already checked out. They don't want to deal with the mom. They don't want to deal with the kids. And then that trickles down to their family. Okay, well, how's their grandma doing? Oh, she don't want to deal with the kids either because her son don't want nothing to do with the kids. It's all of the above.
Right.
But
It all trickles down.
Trav made
Some
a point when he said he wants to make sure that his kids know that it's not an easy world out there. I mean, it's a rough world out there, and you don't want to sugarcoat stuff. So you're gonna give them to a raw and uncut so they can be strong to be able to deal with stuff like that. So he's saying that, but you got to live up on that too. You got to say, okay, I'm not gonna teach my kids to be no quitters and not be able to stay in the fight when stuff get rough. You know what I mean? I'm gonna show them that life is rough. Life ain't finna be easy. They got to get out there and do it. So if they are, brought with these same situations that you're talking about right now, what are they gonna do? Are they gonna walk away like you're talking about, or are they gonna fight because you taught them to know that life is not easy? There's gonna be certain type of obstacles ahead of you. You know what I mean? People are gonna try to make things not easy for you to be able to live life and to be able to enjoy life, but at the same time, you don't give up. Right, Trey?
Right. And
Right.
that's where the two parents come in, because if they see the one parent actually being there trying and making sure that they're good and taken care of, and they see the other person walk away and then their family walk away, that builds, unfortunately, it builds character. It's another way of building character within the kids, so that they're like, okay, well, wait a minute. My mama did it on her own. She faced this, that, and the other. I can do this. And then it actually, okay, so I'll put it like this. My oldest daughter, she'll be 20 and she's in college, right?
Mhm.
For her to go through everything that she's been through, it's like, I'm a show, like now she's in a show and prove stage. Okay, well, I'm gonna show that I can get this done. I'm going to college. I'm gonna be the first person that's gonna get my degree. I'm going to this school and I'm gonna do, XYZ 1, 2, 3. That's a testament of, I watched this person walk away, but I see my mom fight for everything. And so when she talks to me, that's her drive, that's her motivation. She's like, okay, I got something to prove, because when I walk across the stage and I get my diploma, I'm gonna make sure everybody that supported me is gonna be right there next to me. And everybody that has something negative to say will not be there to shine within that same light as me.
And she could have took the easy way out and been a high school dropout, disrespectful, having kids and all that. But you know what? She said, I'm gonna be strong and I'm gonna do the right thing and I'm gonna prove it. She had it in everybody. Some people have it in there, some people don't. That's why I said it's always gonna be a different type of situation. But you instilled those things in your child to be strong and not to be a quitter and to keep on striving, even when things are stacked up against her, right?
Right. And that's what I'm saying. It's the environment. It's the environment that we're raised in. Like I came from a different environment than her dad or my ex. Totally different environments.
Right.
So, but they were raised around me. They're still going to pick up some attributes from them. They're still going to pick up some characteristics, some personality things about them that is going to like, oh, okay. But they're raised with me. And if I instill those values, those morals, those traditions, once you instill something, it's a part of them that's always going to be there. Sometimes they may stray, but if you instill that, they come back. They do. They come back.
Right.
Right. Let me ask y'all this. We're in a classroom right now. My Facebook just kind of messed up, so I just shut it down. We're in a classroom right now, and you got 15, 24-year-old male and females that have one child. No, I'm sorry, they have two children by two different baby daddies and baby mamas. What advice would you give them?
Ask that one more time.
You're in a classroom with 25 people that are female and male. You got you got baby mamas and baby daddies. They have two children by two different baby mama, baby daddies. They don't like one of them, but they are with or love the other one. What advice would you give them?
That's a tough one, but I would say, just right off the top of my head, we have to remember that we're not making decisions for right now. We're making decisions for our future. So if you're making a decision right now, is that going to be the same decision that you're going to make 5, 10, or 15 years from now? And when you sit down and you really ask yourself that question, the answer is always going to be no. You're not going to make the same decisions. You may teeter around the same areas, but 9 times out of 10, you're not going to make the same choices that you made 10 years ago, 15 years later, because you've grown, you have that experience. So with that being said, do not put yourself in a situation that's going to hinder you for the rest of your life. And what that means is when you have a kid, and you're young, you don't know what that means. But what that means is, say for an example, like Tony said earlier, if you have a kid at 16, 17, 18, 20, 24, you have a kid at that age, you're not thinking about the fact that that kid's going to need a passport 10 years from now, that you want to travel and you can't get that other parent to sign that passport.
Right.
And what happens is we're not planning when people have babies just to have babies. They're not thinking about raising the kid. They're thinking about just having the baby. We forget about that part. And when we forget about that part, we take a major, like, it's like a piece that's missing.
30 seconds.
I'm sorry. So it's like a piece that's missing. So in my mind, do not put yourself in a situation that's going to hinder you because you made a today's decision and not a future decision.
Yes. Anybody else want to speak on that? Go ahead, Trav.
So I missed a little bit, but to go off what Nita was just saying. So why are we dancing around an elephant in the room? Why not marry before you carry? To evade
That
some of
wasn't
those.
the question.
Okay, I came back in, but I'm just saying, like,
I mean, I look, as traditional as you are, Trav, I love that and I respect that because
that
that'll
eliminates that'll eliminate a lot of problems.
not in today's world though. That's the sad thing because
You got Instagram, you got Facebook,
hold on.
you got Snapchat.
Yeah, exactly, Jason. You don't know, people are not traditional. Like my Sicilian side of my family, my grandparents were married for 50 something years before my grandpa died. And then my grandma died at 93. The fact of the matter is, it's not those times anymore. It's not those times anymore.
Well, okay, one more thing. And I know, and I know I missed a little bit, but and I'm not saying what I'm getting ready to say to be funny, but it's just where my mind works. If that keeps guys from having multiple baby moms, children's mother, and it keeps you all from having a long resume of dicks, why not do it? I'm just
Get
saying.
married?
Yes.
Okay, well, you got to think about what you're saying though, because getting married is not going to stop you from going out and getting extra pussy on the side. Getting married is not going to
Sure
stop
ain't.
a person from getting
Hey,
dick on the side either. Just because you're
No,
married,
I'm
we
saying,
all know this on the podcast.
yeah,
Just because
yeah.
you're married don't mean that you're not going to go get the extra.
I'm talking about the
You
duty
got
of staying
revenge
together.
for yeah.
I'm talking about the duty of staying together.
Yeah, but
In
Why
today's
sign up to be miserable if you don't know?
You know how
ideally, that's
hard
what
it
we
is?
want to
See,
do.
that's what you just said, Tootie. I like what you said. You said miserable, right?
listen,
I said, why sign up if you don't know if you're gonna be miserable? That's what I said. So
Why?
if
Well,
you're
why?
just screwing somebody, y'all mess around and have a oops baby. Not because you dating, you just screwing. Why would you go marry somebody you were just screwing if you don't? That's not a person you like. You just like the penis.
at the end
I'm
of the
saying.
day, at the end of the day, a lot of today's women are built to be men. They don't need your ass, just so you know. But
I like
And that
when
is
you,
the
no.
problem.
That ain't no.
That's the
I love when
problem.
women say stuff like that. And I'm gonna ask the ladies and the people that watch this. Ain't no
I don't
lady
have
right
no
now.
14-year-old boy, Travis.
I didn't say that. No. I'm gonna say something else.
Go ahead.
None of us are living in a place that has been built by a woman. No buildings, no elevators, no streets, none of that. So when y'all say that, it sounds ridiculous. You need a man.
We never said we didn't. We just
never
said we
said
didn't
we
need the
But they
bullshit.
said they don't need.
Bullshit.
No,
There's hella women out there that's so quick to jump on.
nobody on
I don't need
this
a man. I'm into-
podcast, nobody on this podcast has ever said
Oh,
we
okay,
didn't
okay.
need a woman. I mean, we didn't need a man. We've
No,
all
we
Okay.
said we
said that,
don't need your we don't need no bunch of bullshit. That's what I said. I still say
right.
it.
and I agree
You
with
mean
that.
Okay,
I thought
y'all.
y'all was talking about women in general. I'm like,
No.
shit, all
Okay,
these
listen.
bull daggers in here.
Listen, I'm gonna ask one last. Okay, wait. Let me go through the panel about my classroom session.
I already answered.
Did. So if anybody wants to answer that question, what I did on the classroom before we were rudely interrupted by Travis and Jason talking about, no, I'm just playing, y'all.
Choose,
Why
I
you
say
always
choose
throwing me
wisely.
in the thing? Like,
And one thing
I ain't
that
do
I
nothing.
Go ahead,
one,
Tootie.
one thing I learned like years and years ago is my mama, when I was probably about 16, maybe 17, she made us write down a list of things we wanted to do before we die. So kind of like your bucket list. And she said, so not saying you won't achieve this stuff, but it's easier to achieve it before you have kids. That was it. That was her talk on being mindful of having children. So I think if you help them put things into perspective and not judge them, I think you probably have a better ratio of people making better decisions.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Can I piggyback on that? Oh, go ahead, Tony. I'm sorry.
I'm on.
Oh.
No, hold on.
I'm gonna keep it kind of short and sweet. I'm gonna say this. Growing up with a dad and a stepdad who were both military career type of people, one of the things that they normalized for me is being mature. I want to say mature and adult, but I think that's kind of separate. You know, you can be an adult, but you still may not be mature.
Mhm.
You have to be able to be mature in situations when it calls for you to be mature and not be childish and do things that you shouldn't do. Meaning, okay, I got a child with this one, but I'm not cool with this one. I don't like this one, so I'm gonna act childish and give this one a problem and act like a kid. No, be an adult and be mature. If you're to the point right now, it's where you have kids and you have, you know, multiple maybe baby mamas or baby daddies,
Mhm.
be mature in dealing with those situations. That's my advice that I'm always gonna give to anybody. Be mature when dealing with these situations, because you don't put yourself in a predicament where you need to be mature, need to be an adult. And like I said, I even try to separate being an adult and being mature, because you can be an adult and still not be mature. So
Amen.
mature is the thing that you need to do
Amen.
in these situations. That's all I'm gonna say.
And
That's
I'm gonna piggyback off that. You know, wisdom is the key to everything.
mhm.
Educating yourself and getting to know the other person. Less divorce, less relationships, will dismantle if homework is done. You do your part, wisdom, and because wisdom is the key to any successful relationship. So that's mine.
Okay. Go ahead, Trav.
I'll say this.
Are these our closing? Are these our closing shots?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes. You missed it. We are in school, and we got 25-year-olds in front of us, and they have 2 baby mama or baby daddies, and they don't like one of them, but they love the other one. What do you tell them?
Man, that's a tough situation.
Immature.
That's a tough situation because
Speak
um,
your truth.
man, because no matter how much, if you dislike somebody, they can say blue and you'll think they said bitch. Like it's just that simple. Like for real, y'all. Like if you don't like somebody, they can say something like, "Hey, tie your shoe," and they'd be like, "Oh, you look stupid in them shoes." It's that serious. So for me, I would just say, "Hey, man, try to control that dislike for that other person. If you easily like that person, but y'all not together, try your best to control that dislike because that child is in the middle, and it could cause a lot of ruckus and a lot of pain,
Which equals
a
out
lot
to,
of ruckus and a lot of
which equals out to being mature.
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah. Truthfully, yeah. Last but not least, I would like to say this for the fellas that are watching our show, like don't man no, and the young ladies. Let me say that, like, to having them kids like that, man. This and then you get older and you tie yourself to the wrong person. Ask questions, man. Find out they might have bad health in their family. You don't know. You
Mhm.
don't know. You know what I'm saying? You don't know. So
Right.
like just ask some questions. Find out like what's up. Like, and then you because you're gonna be tied to that person for the rest of your life.
Right.
Mhm.
Amen. Go ahead, Jason.
I have to take it back to like any fool with a dick to make a baby. Take a real man to raise his children. Uh, if you don't like the person you lay down with, like you said, like you should ask questions.
Mhm.
Just because you find somebody attractive, don't mean you gotta have a baby with them. Like
Absolutely.
jump in the sack and get you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
wear some condoms.
Bring
Well,
con-
unless you want pretty,
bring
well,
con-
Unless you want pretty kids,
Oh, shut the fuck up. Okay, look, y'all. Look, my conclusion, because we are way the fuck over time. My conclusion: be careful who you lay down with. Why is there an echo?
It's on your end. Sound like
No.
I don't hear no echo.
Okay. Be careful who you lay down with. It's not you, Jason. We are in different times, and
You're
you never know.
disrespectful.
I'm gonna rewind. Be careful who the fuck you lay down with. We are in different times, and you never know how your decisions affect your children today.
Yeah.
Stop fucking with ratchet. Stop looking at social media. Stop trying to fit in. Be yourself. Be yourself.
Make your own Jones.
Listen,
Don't keep up with them.
listen to your parents. Listen to your parents. Let them guide you. Stop listening to the fucking world. I hate social media when it comes to guidance for the children. All kids, listen to your parents. Whether
fellas,
I'm your dad,
fellas.
speak to us, inform us, guide us. And on that note, y'all, go ahead, Trav. You end
One
it.
last thing, fellas. I'll say this. If you're dealing with one of those young ladies that's got good puss, just keep telling yourself it's not real, and just try to snap back as much as you can, and don't get tied up because she gonna put you on child support, and
I fucking
and
hate you. Bye, nigga.
Me too.
yeah.
and
No,
Rod with the charger Rod that got the charges, he gonna be fucking her too. So just
Subscribe
keep
to Lust. Let us speak truth.
the push is good. It's good. It's good. Just don't do it.
If she
We
says
love
she got a best friend, she fuck that nigga. That is not her best friend.
And-
Trust me.
Look,
Goodness.
okay, look,
Peace.
I love y'all. Subscribe to Lust. Let us speak truth. We speak our damn truth. Tony, we miss you, fam. Come on back. Help a brother out because these young niggas don't know shit. Okay, I'm just playing. I'm just playing, Trav. I'm just playing, Jason. That's my family. Appreciate y'all. Go ahead. One last note from
No,
Tony.
go ahead. No, go ahead. Close it out. Close it out.
Okay, okay.
Have to talk.
Until next time, y'all, we will see you on Sunday and we got a good topic. I love y'all and we out of here. Deuces.
Nice.
Have a good night.